Hi, and welcome to the Balancing Act Dallas-Fort Worth edition. I'm Monta Williams. We're bringing you community stories and introducing you to businesses and people who are making a difference. So let's see who's making a difference right here in your neighborhood.
On this episode of The Balancing Act, learn about high-quality home care, help fight the causes and effects of poverty, tips for improving brain health, plus lots more. Today on The Balancing Act.
Up first, a story not to be missed.
As we age, many of the daily activities that we used to easily do on our own can become increasingly more difficult. Did you know that there are services available that can provide you or your loved one with high-quality care, allowing individuals to live in their own homes or communities comfortably and independently as they grow older? Let's learn more about the concept of aging in place from ClearPath Home Care.
The concept around aging in place is that you're able to stay in your home with a caregiver, with someone that's going to meet all of your needs. Statistics show that 90% of the people aging want to stay in their home, and we have 10,000 people turning 65 every day. And by 2030, all the baby boomers will be 65 or older. They're living longer and healthier lives. This enables everybody, if they choose, to stay in their home and have their needs met.
Home care is a non-medical service that allows people to stay in their home with a qualified caregiver to help with activities of daily living, getting out of bed, cleaning your house, cooking a meal, personal hygiene, or companionship. Home health is different from home care. Home health is a skilled nursing service. They take care of wounds, injections, and serious injuries in the home, and are there 2 to 3 times a week for maybe an hour. Home care is in your home up to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we become the eyes and ears for that patient.
The biggest benefit is allowing you to age in place with dignity. Having these caregivers come in as few as 4 hours a day or as much as 24/7 a day. We take on the role of managing your loved one's care. We match our caregivers specifically to the client need and age appropriateness. We're there to stand in the gaps.
By taking the time to plan and make necessary arrangements, you can provide a stable and nurturing environment for your loved ones, ensuring they receive the care, attention, and resources they require to thrive.
There are many reasons why someone might need our services, from a recent medical diagnosis or a fall, possibly a hospitalization, or non-medical, meaning an elective surgery or anything that would keep someone from being able to take care of themselves in their home. We don't always take care of just the aging population. Most recently, we had a client in their 30s who had a motorcycle accident. Our team of caregivers were able to help him rehab and recover from the comfort of his home. Being a part of the ClearPath team as COO, not only do I get to manage the day-to-day operations, but I get to work hand in hand with our families and our caregivers, and that brings a sense of fulfillment and purpose.
Family involvement is encouraged in the caregiving process. You can actively participate in your loved one's care and collaborate for the best possible support.
When families are discussing home care services, they need to talk about how it's going to be paid for and who's going to be involved in the care. Is it going to be just the agency, or will some family members work with the client as well?
When you are searching for a home care agency, one of the things you need to find out is, are they licensed by the state of Texas? How do they screen their employees? What are their emergency policies that they have in place? Do they work closely with other healthcare providers in the community?
Some of the services that ClearPath Home Care offers its clients are medication reminders, transportation to doctor's appointments, pet care, or we can go even so far as transferring from bed to bath.
We take on that day-to-day care so that everyone has the best quality of life.
ClearPath Home Care providers not only offer assistance with daily tasks, but also provide companionship and social interaction.
Being a caregiver for ClearPath Home Care has been one of the most rewarding jobs that I've ever had. They care about their employees. The compassion that they have for us is unmatched. I'm able to go into families' homes and help not only the client, but also the family.
Every individual's needs are unique, so it's important to tailor your planning to their specific circumstances.
We have a large veteran clientele, and we're very proud to serve them. They've sacrificed so much for us. So we work directly with the VA through aid and attendance and their community care network program.
Well, every year we travel to Washington with the Home Care Association of America to lobby and get in front of our legislators concerning home care with our elderly and our veterans. What that has led to for us is being able to charter a Texas chapter for the Home Care Association of America to give Texas a specific voice in home care.
The future of home care is a lot more people who are turning 65, and we have to figure out ways for them to be able to afford home care, and how are we going to be able to grow the caregiver population to be able to take care of them all.
To learn more about ClearPath Home Care, visit the website at clearpathhomecare.com or see the segment again on thebalancingact.com.
Dallas, Texas is thriving, and like many big cities, a large part of the community experiences disproportionate poverty. Let's see how CitySquare, a nonprofit organization offering solutions for housing, food, health services, is using proven methods to address both the causes and effects of poverty.
Did you know that 60% of all Americans are one paycheck away from poverty? By addressing the key areas related to the persistence of poverty and a person's access to basic needs, CitySquare is making a difference and changing lives.
The mission of CitySquare is to fight both the causes and effects of poverty, and we do that by serving people, by advocating for them, and most importantly, by being their friend. CitySquare helps people who are battling economic insecurity, don't have access to affordable health care, access to affordable housing, or even access to food resources. And so we want to make sure that we provide that here at CitySquare.
CitySquare believes whether you are experiencing poverty, volunteering your time, or donating resources, everyone has a voice and a role in the fight against poverty.
Many assume that people are homeless because of their poor life choices. Oftentimes, many are just one crisis away, whether that be losing their job, experience a trauma, having medical issues or debt, which often causes individuals to have to choose between their health and housing expenses. There is domestic violence or even a divorce. And so really it's about the difference between our neighbors don't have a social support when those experiences happen to be able to deal with it that leads to them being homeless. Another misconception is about that people want to be homeless or they don't want help. And so it's really about neighbors have given up on the system and kind of lost hope. CitySquare's homeless outreach team really comes in and builds rapport with our neighbors to start bringing them hope back into their lives. We have a food pantry, we have health and wellness programs, we have affordable housing, and CitySquare really believes in the housing first model, and so it's housing is a right and not a reward. So the idea is to get people into housing and then we can start working on all of the things that they may have going on. We provide intensive case management on site, we provide life skills classes, even behavioral health counseling, and are really there with them walking through the journey so they can be successful.
When people are empowered with opportunity, fairness, and hope, incredible things can happen.
It feels great to be sober. Life is good. My worst days on this side is still better than my best days as a drug addict. I know that had I not encountered CitySquare, my life would have been over a long time ago. Now my goal in life is to go back in to stir up the hope in other men that there's a possibility. There is a way out. There is hope. And that's what CitySquare has done for me. It gave me hope again.
I try to get here at least once a month to go to the food pantry. Being homeless, no job, it's hard to find nutrition. Very friendly people, very helpful. CitySquare is an awesome organization.
We are a community. We serve alongside one another. We are friends with our neighbors, and we walk with them through life's most challenging times, especially at times where they don't know what to do or where to turn. We're here for them. We believe that everyone has a role in the fight against poverty, and we are so thankful to our community of supporters, especially our donors, our volunteers, and our corporate sponsors for joining us in the fight against poverty.
Kimberly-Clark is a 151-year-old consumer products company with our global headquarters based right here in Dallas, Texas. Our work is driven by our purpose, which is to provide better care for a better world. As an employee, that means that we strive to improve the lives of our consumers, but also strengthen the communities where we live and work. We do that in a variety of different ways, either through partnerships with nonprofits, through global volunteerism, or through product donations, all with the focus to help those in need.
Poverty rarely attacks people in just one way. By fighting back with comprehensive services and advocating for equal access to housing, food, and health, CitySquare is making a difference in Dallas.
We are here for the long haul, for however long our neighbors need us to be. But we hope that there's a future where CitySquare will no longer be needed because we would have already solved poverty.
To learn more about CitySquare, visit the website at citysquare.org or see this segment again on thebalancingact.com.
Mental health awareness is increasing, and our next story highlights just how important it is.
The brain is the control center of the body, responsible for regulating all vital functions. Taking care of your brain health, as you do for other body parts, is crucial to slowing the aging process. We must learn how to train the brain to work for us, enabling us to meet our personal and professional goals.
The brain is amazing. The brain's not fully developed until you're in mid to late 20s. The 30s are rocking, the 40s start to plateau, the 50s, maybe you start to have a little bit of cognitive impairment. The 60s, you start to have a little bit bigger issues. So as the brain ages, it changes. The brain has a philosophy: use it or lose it. And when you're not using those neural pathways, they just start to shut down. We don't think about our brain as being an organ, just like the heart. The largest organ we have is our skin. And as we age, because our skin mirrors our age, we spend a lot of time and a lot of attention to what we look like. The brain reflects your age as well. At the Brain Performance Center, we try to work on the conscious level with cognitive behavioral therapy. We also do some executive functioning coaching, and all of that's just thinking about what you remember, how you process information, and then we also work on the subconscious level, and that's how the brain is wiring and firing. And we do that with neurofeedback. We do that by creating neuroplasticity in the brain. We try to train the brain into a regulated state. I think most people can benefit from the services that we offer. We work with people that suffer from depression and anxiety and ADHD, and then you have people that just want to take their brain up a level and they want to improve their performance, whether that's at work or within their personal life with their relationships. Everybody's brain is going to get in a dysregulated state at some point in their life. Genetics, physical head trauma, emotional trauma, and stress. The good news is you can get that brain back into a regulated state.
Many factors can affect brain health, including diet, exercise, sleep, stress, social connection, and mental stimulation.
When you wake up and you feel like you're in a brain fog and you just can't get the brain going, or if you wake up and emotionally you feel fatigue or overwhelmed, you need to train that brain. Get that brain into that regulated state. There are 4 things that put a brain in a dysregulated state. One is genetics. Brain waves are just as genetic as the color of eyes you have. The second is physical head trauma. Anytime you hit your head, you change the way neurons and dendrites are wiring and firing. The third is emotional trauma, and I think we've all had it. The fourth is stress. And all of those things will put the brain in a dysregulated state. The first thing that we do is we see what is going on in the brain. We do a brain map. And once we have that information, we can determine what the best treatment is for people. Sometimes we'll use neuromodulation. Sometimes we'll create neuroplasticity in the brain. We'll identify the networks in the brain that are the most dysregulated and train those. Once we calm that brain down, We'll add in some cognitive behavioral therapy or some coaching to help people integrate the changes into their daily lives. We focus a lot on coaching for people that struggle with executive function, the way that their brain's working as they age, and it's interesting because as we age, our brain starts to process information differently, and maybe we find it harder to concentrate, maybe we find it harder to pay attention, and we just need to understand what's going on in the brain, what's changed, and have our own strategies and our own coping skills. People will say that they have communication difficulties, and everybody can communicate. It's just that everybody processes information differently. So the way it's received by a team member may be very different than the way it was sent. We've decided that not everybody can make it into the center, and we've started some brain training online, and that comes with some brain coaching. At the same time, a lot of people ask questions about supplements, so we want to be able to give good recommendations that are based on science and nutrition. All of that is now available online, as well as the counseling and the regular coaching.
Overcoming the stigma of mental health and showing individuals respect and acceptance removes a significant barrier to successfully coping with their illness.
I sought out Lee's services for our son, Lorenzo, who needed help in his recovery from the residual effects of the stroke caused by the meningitis when he was 16 years old. Lorenzo's progress with Lee's treatments was phenomenal. The technology has developed more sophisticated equipments and softwares that allow clinicians to study the deeper structures of the brain, the neural networks that are associated with brain disorders, and the different types of advanced treatments that can be used for the brain to create positive changes and function at a normal level or at its peak performance. With Lee's mentorship, I was able to obtain board certification. She showed me how to do neurofeedback and taught me what I needed to know to become board certified. She gave me the courage to do it.
Neurofeedback can be life-changing. You can take someone that has crippling depression and doesn't want to live, and all of a sudden, they have the joie de vivre, they want to live again. You have someone with crippling anxiety who doesn't want to leave the house, and now they can get in a car and drive again. The applications are limitless, from memory recall to processing faster to even help with dyslexia. Neurofeedback is truly life-changing. An EEG evaluation entails, first we take a measurement of your head, and then we record your brainwaves, and then we process that data and make a customized protocol for you. Neurofeedback helps take people from a dysregulated state to a regulated state. And so maybe there's a task that was so insurmountable that one day it was so daunting and you couldn't do it. And then after a few rounds of neurofeedback, now you can, and you get your power back.
Are you ready to get results and live the life of your dreams?
I think about the brain every day, and I think about by the year 2030, the World Health Organization says that brain-related diseases will be the biggest source of disability, and that's globally. I encourage people to take care of their brain just like they would their heart. And it's not that hard to do. We can help you do that. We can give you strategies. We can give you ideas that will get your brain in the state that you want it to be in. What excites me about the future and brain health is the recognition that we're all paying to the brain. We know how important the brain is, and what we don't know is that we are in charge and we can create the change we need.
To start building your confidence today, visit the website at thebrainperformancecenter.com or see this segment again on thebalancingact.com.
Another great story coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
A few hours outside of downtown Dallas sits Jacksonville, Texas. The seat of Cherokee County may be small in population, but it certainly isn't lacking in interesting characters and crunchy pickles. Welcome to Gourmet Gardens Specialty Foods, home to some of the true Lone Star State originals.
Gourmet Gardens is the original hand-packed Texas canning company. Pickles are the number one product that we sell, but we have 16 categories 150 items, candied jalapenos, quail eggs, dill pickles, just pickled items in general. We always stick to our core values. It's all about original, old-fashioned, just like Grandma made. If it's an item that is sought after, we have it on our line. If it's an item that their grandmother made, we have it on our line.
Our longtime bestsellers are things like our pickled asparagus, our pickles, but over the recent years, we've noticed spicy pickled quail eggs are really popular. It's kind of weird, but people are really into it. Customers turn to us because we have clean, natural food, but it's also because we hand pack everything. You gotta taste them. They're so good, and you don't really realize it until you taste it. Whenever we go to shows and we're trying to display our products and let people come by and try them, it makes such a difference whenever you sample it. So whenever they try it, you can just tell by the look on their face. They're just like, whoa.
As a wholesaler, they primarily sell to farmers markets, truck stops, grocery stores, and the scores of old-fashioned shops that dot the American landscape. These products are almost always private labeled and sold under the brand name of the store you buy them from.
It gives them a great product with their own name on it, but it's a product they're not afraid to put their name on. It's practically a handmade product. The recipes are old school. A lot of handwork goes into this product. You know, we produce the inventory, and then when we get an order, it's still got to be customized with that private label. It's got to go on each jar of each case, pulled out inventory, really handled one at a time. You can get pickled okra or you can get salsa just about anywhere, but you can't get our salsa or our pickled okra. But it really boils down to the taste and the appearance and the fact that you can see that it's a unique product.
Gourmet Gardens Specialty Foods uses nostalgia to help sell its products.
We started the company in 1991. My grandma started it. It was all her idea. And my mom has been there right by her side since the beginning. My mom started helping her when she was 19. And then my first year of college, I was 19. That's whenever I started helping out. We get along really well at work. Any child, whenever they work for their parent, they have to learn how to assert themselves as an adult, which is hard. She's finally, I think, coming around to it. But we work together really well. Nowadays, you don't really get a lot of family businesses. And so it feels good knowing that we're one of the few that stuck around. And then knowing that in the 90s, whenever my grandmother and my mom started this company, there's not really a lot of women-run businesses back then. So knowing that my family were some of the pioneers in that makes me feel really proud.
We have a kitchen full of people and tables, and it's all about getting that quantity completed at the end of every day. It's almost artistic as well as the quality and the taste. They're all important, and it has to look pretty, just like Grandma made. That's probably what I enjoy hearing the most, and so we hang on to that. It's so important for us to keep the old-fashioned, traditional, original taste. It's a product that succeeds in any market, in any economy. I love working with my family, our customers, love our products. That enhances our abilities and our desire to be here. There's just everything about the company has been positive. 31 years of it. We've had a great run.
For more information about Gourmet Gardens Specialty Foods, go to gourmetgardens.com or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
Thanks so much for joining us on this local edition of The Balancing Act. We'll see you next time.